What might the pattern of DNA fragments in a DNA fingerprint show us? Well, let's take an example where we are trying to diagnose disease. It may be known that a certain disease runs in a family, whether it be a susceptibility to breast cancer or a certain problem with enzymes or sickle cell anemia. And there is a difference in the alleles of genes which are normal and do not cause disease, and then the mutant alleles in this family which do cause disease or increase likelihood of developing a disease. So one could then cut DNA from different individuals and then run them through a gel and compare the patterns to what one sees. So some alleles which are normal might travel differently through the gel compared to those which are mutant. So in this example, the mutant alleles are smaller and they run farther along the gel than the normal alleles. One can also identify carriers. So if an individual receives an allele from each of their parents, an individual could have two normal alleles and thus only a band in the normal allele section. They could have two mutant alleles and thus have a disease and have only a band in the mutant allele section. Or they might possess two bands in their DNA fingerprint, one corresponding to a normal allele, one to a mutant allele. These individuals might be carriers, having received a mutant allele from one parent and a normal allele from a second parent. So if one were considering a family in which a genetic disease was known to run and wondering who should have early diagnostic tests. So for example, which women might benefit from having mammograms at an earlier age, which individuals might benefit from having colonoscopies at an earlier age because they have an increased susceptibility to cancer. Then this could identify those individuals of the family who would benefit from some such tests. This would not only help those individuals catch a disease state or a potential tumor early and thus potentially save their lives, it would also benefit insurance companies. One wouldn't have to test all members of the family, and one could identify diseases at earlier and easier to treat stages rather than let them progress to the point where they have a more devastating impact on the individual and are also far more costly to treat.